9th of February 25, and I'm just reading about this. Apparently, a Labour MP has been, unfortunately, his WhatsApp group's been, the details have been given out. We don't know why. We don't know if somebody from the group gave out the thing, or have they been hacked. It would be interesting to know, actually. I mean, WhatsApp's meant to be unhackable, or, well, you do encrypted stuff in it anyway, but I doubt it, though. The Russians can probably hack into it. So, or North Koreans. North Korea are way miles ahead of us on hacking, because we're very nice people and trusting, a high trust society. We don't really think of these things. But yeah, I'm just looking. Labour is the housing minister's already been caught out. Andrew Gwynne is his name, I think, the Labour housing minister. But apparently another Labour thing was in the group. Apparently it's a group of Manchester politicians, maybe including councillors, Labour politicians. They've got a WhatsApp group, and they've been saying stuff that possibly Keir Starmer is putting, and Yvette Cooper are putting together thought police hate crimes things, so they would be in real trouble under that probably. So we've got Labour bringing in thought police hate crimes things, and then we've got these one Labour MP and maybe another, saying a lot of things that probably, I mean that lady, the Tory councillor's wife, what did she get, 5 years or something for a tweet or something, speculating about who the Southport murderer was or something, I don't know. But anyway, and then all those traditional Labour voters in Rotherham. Yeah, I paused there and I can't remember where I was. But anyway, this Andrew Gwynne, he was a housing minister. He was a Labour star really, because he was the youngest councillor in 1995 at the age of 21. Now he's a housing minister. I see him all the time. Well, when I used to watch mainstream things like Question Time and that, I don't watch any of that anymore. I don't even watch Prime Minister's Questions. So I do know his face, but I've not listened to him in a long time. But so their WhatsApp, somebody's giving out the details, either somebody from the group, or they've been hacked, maybe by the Russians or North Koreans or something. Don't know. Yeah. So he's Gorton and Denton MP, so somewhere around Manchester. It was apparently in the group are meant to be Manchester Labour politicians, 11 of them or something like that. It was mainly councillors, I would imagine, plus maybe 2 Labour MPs. We don't know yet. I think usually when the Mail on Sunday gets something like this, they'll drip feed the story out, because Wikipedia used to give you everything in one go, and then they learnt to drip feed it, because I remember when they were trying to get Trump elected in 2016 or 2015, they kept drip feeding stuff from Hillary Clinton's emails or something, which Obama pointed out were pretty boring, pretty mundane. He was trying to get Trump elected, but the far left are very, very pro Assange, so I don't know. Anyway, so after it was revealed, he also made, so I can't say that word probably even, but it is interesting that, to me it's interesting because in a way it's a relief, because I thought that Labour MPs and that believed what Labour are all about when they come to talk about how we're going to be a utopia, how something is a really good thing, Sadiq Khan goes on about it a lot. Yeah, but from what he's writing here, it's a relief to see. To me, it makes me think. I'm not saying I agree with what he's saying. He's saying things like Diana, but he seems to me making a fool of her, like pass the sick bag type of thing, me. You know, uh, So here's other things here, and also it shows to me how the electoral system is a lot of rubbish. It's pathetic. Because if I've got a complaint, I've got to contact my local MP. But what if I don't agree with their politics? I would rather write to someone, an MP I think will understand, or rather than my local MP or whatever. In Scotland, we've got the Holyrood elections where you get 3 MSPs in a region. So I've got 3 MSPs to choose from, but here you've only got your thingy or your councillor. Well, actually, council level, I think we've got 3 councillors as well. So that's better than just one councillor, maybe. So the whole electoral system's rubbish. It should be like the Swiss electoral system. It's near to direct democracy. Not to silly levels, but definitely. So I'm just saying here, first of all, because it shows how the MP or whatever or the councillor might have disdain for people, local residents who write to them, I mean, again, from their point of view, if a local resident is always writing to them and that, with mundane stuff or stupid stuff, I don't blame them for feeling bad, but, so, I'm not totally against, and in a way it's refreshing. He says here, dear resident, F your bins. I'm re-elected and without your vote, screw you. P.S. Hopefully you'll have croaked it by the all-outs. And that's the next council elections, So I'm not totally against that. Not writing to the person personally, but having those feelings. Any native females, left voters who are reading this and find it amusing, you need to go back to zero with your thoughts pattern, because it's not what, you should be absolutely disgusted at this. What else is there here? Gwynne and colleagues make remarks about while discussing a Labour Party meeting in the MP's constituency. Bizarrely, one councillor asks if an American, probably can't say that, psychologist called will attend. Will this person be there as well? No, he sounds too militaristic and too, is he in more? Yeah, I mean again, I think I've got no comment to make really. We don't live in a free society. Keir Starmer's bringing in thought police, hate crimes, so are SNP. So we've no choice but to condemn that, like in Russia, you have to condemn things or not. So is this how this guy feels? Is there any truth to what he's saying? Can we say things about him, the Labour MP? It's okay, really. And then there was another thing. Jeffrey the giraffe says, "Don't be nasty to the." At the moment, Trump's just said that Gaza's going to be cleared out, and the people won't be able to move back. So, on another occasion, Gwynne and others mocked veteran Labour MP Diana, but when she became the first black parliamentarian to represent their party at Prime Minister's questions. So I think what readers have got to say, think about this when they read this is, has he got a point? Do I sort of agree? Is Diana a great person, or an asset to Britain, or lucky that she's British, etc.? So here it goes. Who's ready for Diana at PMQs? Yep, because it's Black History Month apparently. This is Anthony Gwynne saying this, or whatever his name is. So he's got disdain. It seems as he's got disdain for this month. So that's, was David Lammy not available? So it looks like they're not really thinking like at David Lammy in not a great light. I'd also take the corpse of Bernie Grant. Yeah, that's Bernie Grant's widow was meant to become the MP there, but David Lammy managed to get himself in there. I don't know how. Bernie Grant was a high-profile black Labour MP who died years earlier. Or Desmond Swayne or Justin Trudeau, and these are the ultra woke. Well, Justin Trudeau he is woke walking, which up till about a year ago he probably felt unbeatable. Now he's just resigned, same as Nicola Sturgeon and her in New Zealand, and the guy in the Taoiseach in Ireland. They really were unbeatable. Suddenly they feel the tide's gone against them. And of course they just dressed in blackface and at Oxford Uni or something. No, nothing happened to him about it. He's a Tory. So the other one was a Tory MP who caused controversy by blackening his face for fancy dress, and the Canadian PM who did the same. The group also poked fun at a local resident who was campaigning for more cycle lanes. In one particularly nasty comment, Gwynne joked that he hoped he'd been knocked over by a bin lorry. Last of all, that Nick is something else. And so Gwynne, that must be a councillor or something saying that. Another interesting thing about this is how they talk about you when you write to them, in their WhatsApp groups. Another good thing is that now it means that the left, the politicians of the left, can't trust WhatsApp, because they're going there, they're letting off steam, they're telling you how they really see the world. In my opinion, it's a bit of a relief to see that they don't think we're heading for a utopia, because it doesn't really feel like that, It feels like the opposite, in fact. So I can't see that because of that. I'll catch up on it later. In one particularly shocking comment, the Gorton and Denton MP says he hopes a 17-year-old woman will soon be dead after she dared to ask about her bins. But, like I say, constituents who write to politicians, a lot of them are rude, a lot of them just annoying. In fact, probably 95 constituents don't write to their MP. One thing they do, I would say maybe 50-60%, I don't know actually, of an MP's time might be dealt with immigration. They're not being made British soon enough or simply enough, or they're trying to get their family now that they're here, that sort of thing. I think that probably takes up 50-60% of the time. One of the MPs for Newcastle used to tell you on a Monday what percent were people coming to her about. She probably still does in Newcastle. Yeah, she's definitely an MP because she's Labour, I think. So she would have survived last year's election, but I think at the next one she'll get kicked out by the Geordies, basically. Can Labour recover from these controversies? No. I mean, see polls, things like this, I feel that it's better than the democracy we've got, because I need to wait 4.5 years to vote. So these polls, two YouGov polls especially, choose reform on the poll. Yeah, so it's your only real chance of any democracy at the moment, because we need to be like the Swiss electoral system, in my opinion. Direct democracy as much as possible, within reason, She hadn't voted Labour, but added, as you have been re-elected, I thought it would be an appropriate time to contact you with regards to the bin collections. Mr. Gwynne wrote a suggested response. Dear residents, I've already done that. Mr. Gwynne wrote on social media, I deeply regret my badly misjudged comments and apologise for any offence I've caused. I've served the Labour Party all my life, and it was a huge honour to be appointed a minister by Keir Starmer. I entirely understand the decisions the PM and the party have taken, and while very sad to have been suspended, will support them in any way I can. I mean, to me, he can't still be a Labour MP. And also under Keir's thought police laws, I think Keir should send him to jail. I mean, I don't agree he should be sent to jail, but I think Keir should send him to jail. And also Keir should send himself to jail, because after the riots, because of the Southport killer last year, which Keir's handled badly and called the people far-right busting, Keir's brought in emergency Stasi laws, and he said that people would be jailed within a week or whatever, anyone who inflamed the situation. And Keir, I think in that same speech, he said that the people rioting were busting far-right, but to me they look like traditional Labour voters, and most of them, when you see their court cases or the information released, they were working, so they can't work when they're in jail, but they were working Labour voters, probably, rather than etc. Yeah, that's how they look like to me. Keir said they were far right bust in, but Keir also said that it was the EDL, etc. But the EDL were disbanded 10 years ago, and I don't think they were into violence either or anything, but they were disbanded 10 years ago. So Keir was lying about that. And a Birmingham man with a fake Kalashnikov, who I think is of a certain religion, he made a video of himself with a fake Kalashnikov saying, "Where are the EDL?" And nobody's asked him why he thought the EDL. I mean, was it from Keir? And if it was from Keir, does that not mean Keir's inflamed the situation and should hand himself into the police and not even, yeah, just hand himself into the jail? Don't even bother about court, and get 10, 15 years jail for inflaming the situation the most. Anyway, that's a thing, mate. The messages were exchanged in a group called Trigger Me Timbers, which Mr Gwynne shares with more than a dozen Labour councillors, party officials and at least one other MP, all based on the outskirts of Manchester. So this is fantastic, that they can't trust their own WhatsApp groups, because I know that a lot of Tories have WhatsApp groups as well, and during COVID, for Tories in the north of England that have big communities that like religion, apparently they felt that some weren't obeying Boris's stay-in orders and that, and they were saying, I don't know if it was about dominant competence, but they were saying we can't have this when we've got communities that don't obey very well, etc. It was interesting to see what they were saying about these communities. I can't remember the word they used, the phrase. It was very polite. Low low obedience communities or something like that. I don't know what it was. Anyway, it looked to me as if they didn't have much hope for their own towns or whatever. I don't know, but I'm just assuming that. Yeah, the mail-ins. So they've all got these WhatsApp groups and now they can't trust them anymore. They can't even speak amongst themselves, their truth or whatever. They've got to say Labour and the left's view of how the country's going to be as a utopia. And the reason we need to do that is because we've only ever had Tories on the right, and I don't think they've ever been over 50% in the vote for a decade, 1950s, 1940s or something. Um, so we've always been a left-leaning country for the last 50, 60 years. So what the left say, really, you've got to pay a lot of attention to. Apart from now, because it's changing now because of reform and Tories. In fact, the reform and Tory actually, at the moment in the polls, have got more than 50%. So the right, for the first time since the 1940s or something, maybe not even the 1940s, because Attlee won 47, maybe the 1930s, I don't know, I'll need to check. So for the first time ever, for a long time, the right has the majority percent of the people in polls. The Mail on Sunday gained access to thousands of messages from the closed group, which was set up in 2019, and discovered a barrage of abusive texts. Among them, Mr Gwynne saying someone sounds blah blah, racist comments about veteran Labour MP Diane Abbott, sexist comments about Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner performing a sex act. Ladies of the left, you can't laugh at us. You'd be wrong. You need to go back to zero if you're laughing. Mr Gwynne mocking a local Labour leader as Colin Cumface. I think that's, yeah. So that's nice, isn't it? So really, he should be not like he should be kicked out of the Labour Party. I'm not me. I'm not really bothered. Labour to me are finished or unelectable anyway. It doesn't matter. And like I say, to me, it's refreshing that he's not seems to think it's a utopia. So it was some sort of conflict management technique or something. Read that yourself. We don't live in a free society. We live in a sort of Putinesque society. In 2018, Mr Gwynne made headlines when he was in a Facebook group called Labour Supporters, in which some messages were shared. At the time he responded, I was added to this Facebook group without my knowledge or permission. I do not support the post and I abhor blah blah. It has absolutely no place in the Labour Party. but months later he was taking part in banter in this WhatsApp group, including taking an apparently mocking tone to those who thought it was inappropriate. Jeffrey the Giraffe says, "Don't be nasty too." It's not clear who he was referring to, but Jeffrey was the logo of the Toys R Us stores. So there we go. He said, "This so-called banter was unnecessary." Oh, that's that guy. Trump made a thing this week. He's going to clear it, Gaza for real estate or something. US are going to own it, and America's not going to get involved overseas and stuff. He said in his election. Mr. Gwynne also made, while talking about veteran Black Labour MP Diane Abbott, when she stood in for Jeremy Corbyn at PMQs in the Commons in October 2019. She became the first parliamentarian to represent their party at the weekly clash. When one member asks if this pioneering moment for this type of Britain was a joke, Mr. Gwynne told the group it was because it's blah blah History Month apparently. So I've already been through all this. And here's a bishop, a British bishop, blah blah blah. And then Angela Rayner was also mocked by the group. We can say about this, it doesn't really matter apparently. I mean, she does have one aspect with it. You need to tread. She has one characteristic, but apart from that, really, you can just say whatever you like. I think if she was a man of that colour, you could say anything, basically. Doesn't matter. In March 2021, when the deputy leader faced criticism for claiming £249 Apple wireless headphones on expenses, Mr. Gwynne posted a tweet from the parody account, Tammy Pax MP. It read, "I don't see what the problem is. It's literally impossible to give a B job while wearing wired headphones. Anyone with a similar background to Angela would understand this." Another outrageous exchange came after the councillor mentions a constituent called Nick who asked for more cycle lanes. Now, I'm guessing that Nick contacts him all the time and is a bit of a nuisance. Mr. Gwynne replies, "I had positive visions of him getting mown down by an Elsa Waste HGV while he's cycling to the Fallowfield Loop cycle lane. We couldn't be that lucky." The MP, so anyone laughing at that, ladies, if you're laughing at that, you need to go back to zero. You need to go for intense new brainwashing again. You know, Britain's going to be a utopia. You don't find things like that funny. We wouldn't be that lucky. The MP has also mocked a senior party figure in Tameside called Colin Bailey, 61, the vice chair of Labour's Odenshaw branch. In January 2019, appearing to reference a local party victory, Mr. Gwynne asked, "How did Colin Comface take it?" He added later, "Can we post the Colin Comface Tory supporting tweets now?" A shocked Mr. Bailey, who has campaigned for Mr. Gwynne in the past, told the Mail on Sunday yesterday, "I am angry about this. If this is directed at me, Andrew never said anything like this before." Well, that's a surprise, isn't it? And that's another reason I don't agree with parties, is because a lot of people I just agree with maybe one or two issues. I don't agree with a lot of stuff, you know, or even their own conduct. So, I mean, maybe you need parties. I mean, they say themselves they're umbrella groups. As Tommy Sheridan said once in Big Brother, he was explaining to somebody, even if you get a bowling club, you've got a committee and that, and then he didn't get to finish because somebody else was talking or something. But I think he was going to say, even a bowling club committee, you have problems. People have crazy views, etc., etc. You know. So, Nigel Huddison, MP, co-chairman of the Tory Party, blah 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 blah. It's terrible. And David Sedgwick, the councillor who posted a photo of the letter from the pensioner about the bins, said Mr. Gwynne's comments are totally not acceptable. Why didn't you say unacceptable? Mr. Gwynne has been in politics since 1996, when he was elected as England's youngest councillor at the age of 21. He became an MP in 2005, and after last year's general election was appointed Minister for Public Health. Labour last night confirmed Mr. Gwynne had been administratively suspended from the party while the messages were investigated. He added swift action will be taken. So there's 2,000 comments. I'm guessing it's a Daily Mail. I'm guessing people are saying that's terrible. They're not saying it's refreshing to see that Labour don't believe all that utopia rubbish that they're talking about. And here's the best comment. I strongly suspect that many in the Labour Party support this view. I have never witnessed politics in the UK before showing such vitriol and hatred of the British people, the very same people who pay or have paid their fair share of taxes to hold our country together. It's obvious. Blah 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 blah. Pensioners. Yeah. So I don't really agree with what they're saying, or they're missing the point in my opinion. Really. Uh, they're going on about pensioners for some reason. So yeah, I'll look at the worst rated quite often. That's where come on, at least Labour is trying to or taking actions. I don't know about that really. Hillary, does she honestly think that the other share are any better? I agree with them about the pedal cyclists. Yeah, there we go. So that's good. I mean, I think he's been a troll, but it's good. There's probably some truth in it. I don't want anybody knocked out, by the way. I mean, just for that, he should be jailed for 25 years or something under online, Keir's online hate laws, plus the Be Nice laws, or whatever they're called. Uh, the nice Stasi laws. The person we should really worry about is the one that leaked the chat group conversation. People say things in private in the moment that, when played back out of context, reflect badly. We have all done it, whether in chat groups or over the garden wall. I am not a Labour supporter, but I recognise this is a title nonsense that has to stop. Still, I should have the mettle to stand up to this. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who leaked it. I hope they find it, or if it was hacked, which I'd prefer actually. Because then Keir Starmer might do something about the West being so easy to hack. You'd all be laughing your heads off at this stuff if Trump or Nigel had said it. I think Trump really says it anyway. It's the norm now. Yeah. They're hilarious texts. He should be on stage. It's just a bit of joking around. So yeah. So that's all I've got to say about that. Okay.